finally here. I was looking forward to this. It came in after 10 days, and today we will be reviewing it. This haul consisted of 7 items. We got a Travis tee, a Ralph Lauren sweater, an Essential sweatpants and hoodie, Eric Emanuel shorts, a Burberry scarf, and Travis Air Jordan 1 Mocha's High. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. The first piece I got here was the Travis x Nike Air Jordan collaboration tee. Not gonna lie, when I was buying this, I was a little sketch and a little scared that this t-shirt might just end up being garbage. So I took a gamble with it and it paid off. This t-shirt is probably one of my favorite pieces of the haul. I wanted a Travis tee, but I also wanted something that was simple and not too overly graphic. And the Air Jordan Travis collab tee had exactly that. I wore and washed this tee once already. The puff print is absolutely perfect. The color did not degrade or have any signs of fading after the wash. The tee quality, the material itself was absolutely perfect as well. I believe the blank used was 100% cotton. The puff print in the front and back was just aligned perfectly as well. I checked retail online and it looked damn near 1-to-1. I was overall pretty surprised at how good this turned out to be. The only single complaint that I would have with this tee is something very trivial, and it's the print on the inside. The contents print, or whatever you want to call it, behind the neck had an issue. At some point I do show this in the video, but when you see Travis Scott's name, you can see that there's like a big blank on the Scott. I don't know why that happened or how that happened, but honestly I could care less. It's not like when I'm wearing the tee someone's gonna rip it off my back and look at that. So overall this piece was definitely a 10 out of 10. The second piece on the screen right now is the Ralph Lauren sweater that I got. This sweater is without a doubt in my mind the best piece I got within this haul. I got this piece from Rep Kingdom, and I think the quality or the material that he uses for the sweater is wool. It might have been cotton too, I don't remember too much, but regardless of what it is, the quality on this was insane. When I wore this sweater, it was nice and thick. This thing is definitely keeping you warm from the cold. The fit was also perfect too. It fit me very nicely. Also saw no issues with the polo embroidery. It looked very nice. This sweater was also washed when I got it, and there was no damage, no color degradation, no shrinking or anything after the wash. There were no stitching errors, there were no loose stitches. I didn't see anything wrong with the tag itself. The wash tags on this piece looked good. The only thing I couldn't do was, for some reason, I couldn't scan the QR code on the sweater. I don't know if it was because my phone didn't pick it up or if it was another issue, but if you're watching the video, go ahead and give it a try. I do show the tag at some point in the video. If you want to see if it works or not, be my guest. But overall, when it comes to this piece is 100% a 10 out of 10. This piece was incredible and is definitely my best piece from this haul. Next in line here, we have the Eric Emanuel Swarovski. I really hope I said that correctly. The crystal version, I guess, of the Eric Emanuel shorts. This piece was from the one and only best Eric Emanuel short seller, Angel King. I originally ordered the embroidered version of this from him, but he ended up accidentally sending me the Swarovski crystal one. And when I got it, I was just like, why not just keep it, I guess. I just wanted to ship out my haul, and this was the last piece on the haul. The short itself is 100% cotton. I don't know what exactly he used for the crystals. I don't know if he actually used original Swarovski crystals, but I definitely doubt that. One thing that did fascinate me about this piece was the placement of the crystals. Aside from the crystals being beautiful and sparkly as you can see in the video, the placement of the crystals are actually very close, if not 1-to-1 with the original piece. The attention to detail is insane. Aside from that, I was kind of too scared to wash this, mainly because I didn't want the crystals just like peeling off from day one. And speaking of the crystals peeling, there was no peeling when I tried to like scratch it with the gloves or try to like poke it or something. But I am more than likely going to try and hand wash this again to preserve the crystals and try to not degrade it. Aside from that, one major issue I did have with these shorts is the laces, man. Why do the laces look like that? It looks like a rat came inside of my haul and then started chewing on the laces. And then the tag in the back. The tag itself had no issues, but there was a problem behind the tag. Why does it look like, again, a rat came in the haul, and started chewing behind the tag. But again, none of these are major issues in my POV. No one's gonna see these. I'm only looking at how it is from the outside, and for that reason, this piece will be a 10 out of 10. Next, we got an Essentials hoodie. This thing is absolutely massive, man. I mean, if you're into baggy hoodies, I definitely recommend looking into this. I got the hoodie from Senior. The hoodie itself is fleece lined. The print on the hoodie looked absolutely immaculate. I gave this hoodie a wash. There was no peeling on the print. There was no fleece going anywhere. The hoodie itself is very nice and heavy. The print quality is also very good. I liked the Essentials print on this hoodie a lot. The prints on the tags and the Fear of God thing on the hoodie, on the top of the hoodie, was pretty good. Quality wise, I am very satisfied. However, now here comes the issue with this hoodie. I believe it's an issue with, generally speaking, all rep hoodies, but when I tried to wear the hood of the hoodie, it looked like I was wearing a wizard hat. I mean, that thing was pointing upwards, but I think that should be fixed over time by just wearing it over and over. Another minor issue that I had was with the fleece. When I wore this on top of my tee, it kind of left some fleece over my t-shirt, but again, I think that is to be expected with most fleece items. Overall, I will give this hoodie a 10 out of 10. Next in line, we got this Essential sweatpants. It's from the same seller, Senior. I got a black, fleece lined with no puff print. This piece also blew me away with how good the print was, the tags were, and the quality of the sweatpants were. Honestly speaking, you can't really go wrong with Senior. I took the laces off these pants only because it felt more comfortable without them. They were just sagging if I just left them on. Again, no complaints about material. The fleece lining was nice. I didn't have any sort of like shedding on my legs or anything. I wore and washed this once. The print is also solid. It didn't have any like fading or anything after the wash. Again, these are to be expected and is standard with quality reps. The only issue that I can realistically bring up about these sweatpants is that it had some weird stitching next to where the laces were supposed to go. I show these off at some point in the video, but I don't know if those stitchings are supposed to be there or not. It just looked kind of weird, but I don't think it's that much of an issue. If you were to ask me though, it is pretty trivial. It's not like someone's gonna look at your crotch and then call you out on some loose stitching. And again, everything aside from that was perfect in my opinion. It looked pretty one-to-one to me. The wash tags didn't have any issues or anything like that. And overall, my rating of this piece is again a 10 out of 10. Moving on, next in line, we have a Burberry scarf. The scarf came with a Burberry bag and the Burberry packaging. I probably should have just discarded these packagings just to get some money off of shipping, but I kept them just for the video. I ended up buying this scarf from a budget batch, and it was not a great idea to do that. Quality of the scarf seemed okay. I think they used some sort of like wool polyester blend to make this. Again, keeping it real, I don't know if the pattern on the scarf is correct at all either. You can take a look at the video and compare to retail maybe to get an idea of how it is. Now, the biggest problem that made this piece so garbage was in the stitching of the scarf. The embroidery seemed to have no problems. It looked okay to me. There was no stitching defects or anything, but the written letters for Burberry looked horrible. The stitching for each letter was for some reason just connected to each other. I don't know why it was like that. I quite literally had to just get a pair of scissors just to like cut off those connections and make it look a little bit better, but it did not end up doing that. It just loosened up some stitches in some areas and made it look worse. And then the letters. The E, for some reason, was just, the middle part of the E was just connected to the top. I don't know why. The Y on Burberry did not look correct. It was missing like that little indent on the right side. And then the stitching work in the back was absolutely a nightmare. There was just clumps of stitches everywhere. Again, I don't know why this was the case, but again, I did go for a budget batch, so I guess I can't complain or kind of cry and whine about it. With everything said, my overall rating for this scarf would probably be a 6 out of 10, only because one, it was a budget batch scarf, and the material was decent, meaning I could probably still wear this and not freeze to death. And for the grand finale, we have the Travis Scott X Nike Air Jordan 1 Mocha Highs. I got one of the best possible batches for these shoes, which was the FK batch. When I originally got the QCs from my agent for these shoes, I was kind of sketched out only because the color looked off, but I guess seeing it in hand now, that was only because of the lighting. Also, looking back, I kind of wish I got the brown version of the Cactus Jack tee that I got in the beginning of the video, since it would kind of pair up with these shoes pretty nicely. But I may or may not do that in another haul video. The material on this shoe was very, very, very good. The suede felt really nice. The leather on the sides and on the top of the shoe was pretty good. The Cactus Jack print on the tongue of the shoe and on the side of the shoe looked perfect. The insides also looked pretty nice. When I wear them, it feels pretty comfortable. I can't really give you a review on how it feels when I walk long distances with these shoes because I had to really hold myself back from wearing these for a day so I could do this QC video for y'all. The sole material felt really nice. It was thick and it was a nice and hard rubber. The little face print in the back also looked really, really nice. The only real issue that I probably had with these shoes was very minor and trivial, and that is the stitching of the shoe. Some parts, when you see it in the video, I do kind of like get up close to show it, but some parts are double stitched for some reason. I have no idea if that's the case with the original shoes. Hey, but if it is, then scratch that thing off the list. These shoes are perfect. But honestly, even if it isn't, the stitching of the shoes is just something that nobody's gonna see or even look at without holding the shoes up close to their face. I also did forget to mention, but these shoes did come with the 4 extra laces, the 4 colorway for the laces. So with everything that I said, my final rating for these shoes would be a 10 out of 10. The stitching, again, doesn't matter. The quality is perfect. And that is it for the video. I'd just like to thank you so much if you watched the entire thing up until here. And before you click off this video, I have just one more thing to say, and that is I will be posting the quality of these items through the passing weeks, months, and years that I use them. My idea when I make these videos is to give you guys a better idea, a better understanding of how some of these items are, what the quality is with them. I'll be uploading all of these quality checks into my Discord, so if you have not already joined my Discord, the link will be down in the description. And if you have any questions for me about the items that I got or the items that you may be getting, just hop into Discord. I am generally active. If I'm not able to help, someone who is also as experienced with reps can probably help you. And if you aren't already subscribed, I am going to crawl down your chimney and steal your hauls. You won't know it's me until that haul is missing from your front doorstep. Seriously though, if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This helps me a lot. You'll also be able to see my upcoming video of my second haul that is coming. I don't know, God knows when, I guess when All China Buy decides to release my haul and actually send it to me. But you'll stay updated, so please consider subscribing. With all that said, again, thank you so much for watching and listening to me yap about these items. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.